When you look at a drop of blood, it appears to be a uniform red liquid. But zoom in, and you'll find a chaotic, crowded highway packed with hyper-specialized cellular machines executing wildly different tasks to keep you alive. Every single cell rushing through your veins carries a strict biological expiration date. This entire cellular population is slowly dying, creating a permanent state of tension within the cardiovascular system. Take your red blood cells, surviving 100 to 120 days. To squeeze through microscopic capillaries, they rely on a flexible internal scaffolding of spectrin and ankyrin proteins. Eventually, these proteins fray and degrade, leaving the cell membrane rigid and unable to bend. You lose millions of these dying cells every single second. To prevent systematic collapse, the body must sustain a massive replacement effort that never stops, a perpetual race against cellular death. This manufacturing effort is managed by a hidden hub located inside the hollow cavities of your skeleton. The red bone marrow drives a continuous production process known as hematopoiesis, rebuilding your blood from scratch every hour of every day. The entire operation begins with the hemocytoblast, a pulsing biological blank slate. This is a pluripotent stem cell, holding the genetic blueprint required to become any blood cell in the human body. Distant organs monitor your blood levels and transmit chemical hormones that act as biological work orders, telling the stem cell exactly what to build. When your oxygen levels dip, your kidneys and liver release a hormone called erythropoietin, or EPO. This signal reaches the marrow and commands the stem cells to begin forging oxygen-carrying red blood cells. As the new cell matures, it undergoes a radical physical transformation to maximize space for oxygen transport. The developing cell actually ejects its own nucleus, expelling its solid core through the membrane to become a hollowed-out carrier. A second hormone, thrombopoietin, commands the production of the megakaryocyte, a massive cell designed for blood clotting. This oversized cell faces a mechanical bottleneck when it attempts to enter the bloodstream through the marrow's narrow sinusoidal capillaries. The megakaryocyte gets wedged against the vessel wall, shearing apart into the hundreds of tiny fragments we call platelets. The bone marrow physically alters cellular anatomy, sacrificing cellular brains and shattering bodies to forge the precise mechanical tools the circulatory system demands. A different set of orders involving interleukins and colony-stimulating factors triggers the manufacturing of the immune infantry. The myeloid production line creates granulocytes and monocytes by filling their internal cytoplasm with highly specific toxic chemical granules used to dissolve parasites or trigger inflammation. These cells undergo a bizarre nuclear transformation, where the central nucleus morphs from a standard sphere into twisted U-shapes or multi-lobed segments. This creates specialized hunters known as neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils. A secondary branch, the lymphoid lineage, produces B cells and T cells for highly targeted adaptive defense. Although born in the marrow, the T cell is incomplete and must travel to the thymus gland in your chest to finish its maturation process. Immune cell production is a targeted weapons manufacturing process. It equips biological blank slates with the specific toxic payloads and physical shapes necessary to hunt unique biological threats. During deployment, millions of newly minted, highly specialized cells squeeze through the marrow's porous capillaries and are swept away by the bloodstream. At the end of their life cycle, old and rigid red blood cells are trapped and consumed by massive macrophages inside the spleen. In this recycling process, macrophages strip apart the dead cell's hemoglobin. The structure is mechanically deconstructed into globin chains and a core heme group. The body saves the amino acids, and the vital iron is meticulously extracted from the wreckage. This salvaged iron is transported directly back to the bone marrow to fuel the next generation of hemocytoblasts. Blood is a dynamic, self-cannibalizing, and constantly renewing organ. It is driven by a ceaseless chemical conversation between the body's sensors and the hidden factories inside your bones.